So thank you, John, for agreeing to offer us this day in June. I think it's the 19th of June, 2025, in
Mhm.
person in Oxford, which is a treat to do something in person. So the day is called Knowing How It Feels. Is that right?
Yep, it
Yep.
is.
So
Yeah.
what will people expect if they come and spend the day with you?
Okay, well, what to expect is some further details about the course that Mark Williams has really devised. So looking more at the theoretical background to the course that he's divined on sort of further and deeper mindfulness.
Mm.
So we're looking basically at the source of reactivity. One of the big problems we obviously deal with in mindfulness is that you get to see a lot of reactivity in your mind. And this is really going to the roots of where that reactivity arises from. And I'll be exploring that in many, many different ways, trying to make it as unjargonistic as possible.
Nice.
um, in terms of getting people to really appreciate some of the psychological background from an Asian perspective, not necessarily from a Western perspective, on how basically what we're calling feeling tone, this is the knowing how it feels, is the source of our reactivities. Because we react to pleasant stimuli, unpleasant stimuli, and stimuli which are neither. We don't categorize them. And so we're reacting all the time to that.
Nice, thank you. So do you think there'll be the opportunity to do some group work or pair work, or is it an all day lecture from how do you think the day might go?
Well, that's yet to be decided. I usually like
Sorry, I
to,
sprung that on you.
yeah. I usually like to mix these things up. Yeah, so I do tend to do group work. So there'll be some group work. I'll probably set a question. And hopefully there might be even some time for practice. It depends on how the day pans out. There'll be quite a bit of information to give across, but I want people to talk about it rather than just listen to me ramble on about
Yeah.
this material.
And I'm sure people will be quite happy to sit and listen to you, not rambling at all. Um, I so do we think this is for teachers or anybody that's interested in mindfulness?
Anybody who's interested in mindfulness, because I mean, if you've been practicing mindfulness for a long time or for a while, then it will make more sense.
Yeah.
If you haven't and you're still interested, I think hopefully it'll be provoking and stimulating in the sense of getting to think about the sources of your own reactivity,
Mm.
where
Great.
they come from, and how that sort of reactivity is completely impersonal. It's not something we choose. We can't choose to have pleasant feelings or unpleasant feelings. They just come to us,
Yeah.
but it's what we do with them, and that's where the mindfulness part comes in.
Thanks. So if they spend the day with you and their
Mm,
colleagues,
yeah.
if you were to say these are the two or three things you'll go away with, what would that be?
Okay, two things. These are two things I think are
Okay.
really, really. The first thing is I think you understand that actually there's nothing personal going on here. You know, the source of our reactivity is actually in itself not personal. It's just something in the mechanisms of our mind. And I think there's a great way of letting ourselves off the hook a
Mm.
lot of the time, in the sense of, we often feel guilty for feeling the way that we do about certain things. Now, if we're going to actually then take it into the second part, I hope people are learning, is then it's actually really the mindfulness bit. What do I do with
Yeah.
those pleasant feelings, or what do I do with those unpleasant feelings? Do I just react to them? In which case, a whole life lived reactively um, impacts on who you are, you
Yeah.
know, who you are ethically as well.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to explore that with you on the day. Nothing
Yeah.
personal about this.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
personal about it. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, this is an aside, really, but if you actually look at the languages that's written in, the language starts with being completely impersonal. All the verbs used are impersonal verbs. And then you suddenly start to get into the personal when it becomes me. This is happening to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, John. I think we're all looking forward to seeing you in person. Really appreciate you joining us in Lady Margaret Hall in Oxford.
Great.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.